you describe how you view codependence in your own words and how you view interdependent in your own words?
So I don't really know much about interdependent, but I know
Wow.
that
Come on, Lego,
codependency
give me
You
wise,
may have to define it.
you said yeah. So yeah, I know what codependency is because I have experienced it.
Boom.
So when you have like when you're not when you feel like you need this person or you're almost like a I'm not gonna say desperation. It could be just like a fear of abandonment or just whatever it is. You feel like you have to like compromise so many different things to keep this person around, and that's just not a healthy way of that. That's not healthy. Anything that makes you feel like you have to compromise how you feel, your how you think, like what you say. If I have to peel myself back to like make you feel comfortable, that's I'm being codependent on you. Like I'm like I need you, so I'm like defying myself. That's crazy.
So to answer what interdependence is, and I'll give it back to Marcus. Interdependence is the middle ground between codependency and independence. Is what's in the middle, right? It's like being at a job, right? You got two co-workers. They do one part of the job, you do the other part of the job, and y'all kind of like need each other to
Create synergy.
yeah, it's a synergy or whatever. But y'all both work for the supervisor, and y'all are interdependent with the supervisor. He pays you, and you know do whatever the job that they need you to do. So it's an interdependent. So when you're in a relationship with somebody, it's somewhat what Voice of Venus said. Like he gives you this, and you give him this, and y'all work together to get to the goal that y'all are working on. And it's an interdependence. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
How do we get there?
I mean, what I don't understand.
What is that noise?
Because I don't think Aundrea had any lack of understanding of what interdependence was. I think she just had a problem with codependence, which she is technically right. Codependence is a parasitic type of relationship style where you do things and you sacrifice yourself for the approval of someone else. And that's kind of like the concept that she was coming from. So I don't even think she was even describing interdependent relationships or had any problem with interdependent relationships.
And here's the problem. Go ahead.
I brought it up because she said this a couple times, and I was just curious as how she defined codependent, because I think she believes that a relationship where you're relying on the other person, just in my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, is codependency. But there, as Mr. Lego said, there is another version that's not negative and harmful. It will be interdependent, where you work together and create group synergy, and the compromise is you all finding a way to move forward in the right direction.
Yeah, women.
Is that how you described it, Aundrea? Dependence in a relationship? Is that how you describe it?
Interdependent was. So this is, I don't really know much about that term interdependent.
Well, let me say this. Women, and this ain't meant to, sound crazy, but I'm just gonna say it. Women kind of operate like rodents.
What?
I'm not saying it's in a bad way, but women run from one side of the room to the other side. You know how rodent like stays on a floorboard because they're afraid to walk to the middle of the floor because they don't want to get stomped on or something like that. So it's kind of like what women do. They just stay on one side of the room and they scurry from one side of the room to the other, because one side is codependency and the other side of the room is independence. So they get screwed over one way and they run to the other side, and there's no food. The food is actually in the middle of the room, but they're afraid to come to the middle of the room because that's where the actual rodent is the most vulnerable. That's actually how women operate.
This nigga brain and his scalp shares the same texture, bro.
What are you talking about, man?
Eat every day.
What the fuck is this?
Okay.
Come on, Mr. Let Go. Bro. God damn.
If y'all know, it's okay. So
What the fuck?
I just have to say something because you
Go ahead.
you want to liken women to rodents. It'd be really wild if I just said some stuff like I could really just say some shit and just make y'all real mad. But I'm really trying to decide against it.
I don't know. You did call all men dumb. So
I'm really trying not to be petty.
Aundrea, you can't make us mad because we have boundaries.
No, all I'm saying is this.
Give me an example of what you would say if you was to say it.
I would love to hear this.
I'm giving you all a pass. I'm gonna give you
piss us off. We want to hear this.
No, go ahead. Say it to Neko. He's the one that got you mad.
Say it what you said.
Don't be scared.
Don't be
scared.
You want to compare animalistic behavior?
Yeah, let's talk about animalistic behavior.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Tell us. Orangutans, monkeys.
I think you guys are like you tame men. I think you guys are like you guys.
Seahorses.
We like what?
I think you guys are like ravished beasts. You're like untamed boars. You guys just don't know. You don't think with anything. You don't think with your brain at all. You just think with what's in between your legs. I think you guys are just completely insane most of the time. I think you're ego driven. I think you can be very, very individual.
Hey, we got. Hey, hit her with the beastly sound. Hit her with the wild boar sound. We out here thinking what I did. Hey, look, Aundrea.
What does she do?
Y'all scurry around. I'm sorry, but y'all scurry around.
Here's the reality.
You leave your car into the grocery store. You scurry to the grocery store. You scurry back to your car. Women, I'm sorry, operate like rodents.
And the reality is, Aundrea, you may just be right. We may be thinking with our third leg, with our second head, whatever you want to call it. But it's the reason why y'all make money today. It's the reason why y'all get us to do a whole lot of shit. Because if we weren't thinking with that, there would be a whole lot of shit not getting done around here. We If we weren't thinking with our third brain, half of y'all wouldn't know what to do with y'all selves because y'all couldn't even pimp money out of us. That third brain put money in your pocket.
And I didn't say y'all are. I just say the operation is similar.
Well, we have to use it to our advantage, you know.
Hey, I ain't mad at it. We got to do. Hey, we got to move how we got to move. Women got.
I got one more question for you, Aundrea. When you talk about the advancement of women over men, how far advanced do you think women are in comparison to men?
That's a good question. You know, I feel like no, because I'm not, no, because y'all keep putting me on spot. It is making me feel nervous.
Nah, we want to hear this. We gotta hear this. Let the world know how smart are y'all over us. We are just these lowly, dumb Negroes. Don't know what the fuck we doing. Tell us how smart y'all are over us. We want to know.
No, because you guys are gonna make fun of me.
No, we're not.
We can't make fun of you if you're telling the truth, right?
No, it's not about. It's what my thought process. It's what my theory is.
Okay, go ahead. We're listening.
So just because based on science, the fact that we mature faster, you guys walk faster, you guys.
We're in toddlers.
I think that God created women, and we could give life, you guys. I think that we're like a superior being. I feel like we're a superior identity. Like we were finally craft. Like it's like we're just everything. We're so spiritually connected to this universe, and you guys,
No, how many years more advanced rather? If in second grade, what grade are you in?
It's unmeasurable. It's unmeasurable. I think that the way our brains are developed, the brain cells that we have is just so much far advanced. It's unmeasurable. We're just far ahead. Like it's light years ahead. We're like light years ahead of you all.
Anything that's unmeasurable either doesn't exist or is not worth measuring.
That's not true. Space is unmeasurable.
Space is actually measurable.
No, it's not. No, it's so many universes out there. It's unmeasurable.
There's galaxies and they're measured.
No, but space just goes. It doesn't stop. There's no stopping.
Space just goes, really? How do you know?
All the time.
Like using the education system, where would you say men are and where would you say women are using the terminology of the education system?
We're talking about the educational system. I mean, who made the educational system? white men, so can't really.
No, I'm using it as a metric. Like there's a master's, there's a PhD, there's
which is a
kindergarten.
measuring system,
Yeah,
like
it's
you
a
said,
measuring
unmeasurable.
system.
I think it's unmeasurable, you guys. I'm sorry. I just think it's far beyond like the human thought process. Like school, I think that's like minimal compared to like the actual reality of it. I think that we're just so.
Because I like according to what I'm trying to determine is like, so if you said we was freshmen and you guys were PhD scholars, right? Would that be a fair comparison? We're freshmen in college and you all are PhD scholars.
I mean, I just think that we're just like we don't stop. PhD is
so just much further than
she's
us.
saying it's unfathomable, pretty much. Like,
so it's
But
literally
how do we still
impossible for men
manipulate y'all
to-
so well
Exactly.
if that's the case?
No, it's impossible. We can't.
If it's so unmeasurable, how do we always manipulate y'all and get what we want from y'all almost every time?
I mean, the thing
And
is,
y'all end up getting screwed over every time. How is that?
I'm going to tell you how that is. We're so loving and understanding and nurturing that most times it's like this idea of love. We put love. We understand fully what love means.
Really?
It's an unconditional term. So we believe in love and we are able to produce and show love. You guys are incapable of that.
So why do women, most y'all, not you, but y'all have babies with pookies?
I mean,
because if
you
y'all
just said
so
we're
intelligent,
capable
how do
of
y'all
love.
have?
We're doing
Why do
this
y'all
again.
big dumb dudes?
I mean,
have
you guys are capable of loving, but just not to our capacity. We love more than you guys because we.
Well, why do y'all have babies with?
How do you know?
How do we?
Why do y'all have babies with dumb dudes if that's the case?
I mean, I don't have kids. I can't answer that for you. You have to ask someone who decided to compromise themselves for you all and got pregnant.